justify parents permitting their child to do a Sunnah act? Example, a niqab.
Questions from one of the sisters. With regards to what is the context of the hadith in which a man from Yemen came to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked to go out and fight jihad, and the Prophet ﷺ asked him, was his parents or were his parents alive? And if they are, then go, فَفِيهِمَا فَجَاهِدْ. Go fight with them, meaning serve them. Does this hadith prove that parents can prevent their children from making sunnah acts such as the niqab and things like this? Jazakallahu khairan is a very good question and a very important question. And the answer is yes and no. Yes and no. If there's a recommended act which you don't have to do, and it comes in front of you serving your parents or pleasing your parents in something which isn't haram, then no doubt you should serve your parents. We know this from the story of Jurayj, the great worshipper, in which his mother called out to him while he was making prayer. And he refused to answer his mother, in Sahih Bukhari. And she made dua against him. She asked Allah to punish him and do not allow him to die until he sees the faces of those prostitute women. And we all know the scandal that was made against Jurayj because of his mother's dua. The prayer that he was making was not mandatory prayer, and he should have left the prayer and answered his mother. So therefore, if there is a recommended act, recommended, it's not obligatory, and your mother needs your service, do that first. If you can't do both, one compromises the other at the expense of the other, serve your what? Your parents. That's the yes part of the answer. The no part of the answer is that this does not apply all around the board, in which your parents are totally secular, non-religious, totally cultural. Don't grow a beard. Don't wear thobe. Don't wear niqab. Don't go seek knowledge. Don't cut your pants. Don't sit in the masjid. Don't go and make salah. Don't read the Quran. Don't. And they're based off of fear. They're afraid that you want to get discriminated against. You can't find a job because you have a beard. You can't get married because you've covered up your beauty and your charm. Many women, they say this in the United States. They tell their daughters, you're not going to get married wearing those ugly clothes. Wearing a gloves and niqab, you can't find a good husband. They have to see some of the what? Some of the product. They have to see some of the product. The fish bites the hook because it sees the what? The worm. You have to offer something. Huh? Muslims talk like this. They tell their daughters, don't go out of the house wearing that potato sack. Don't dress like that. You don't have to be totally naked, have total tabarruj, but you have to show some of your charm for the brother to like you. Akhi, you know, the beard is not really obligatory. Just trim it up a little bit and shape it up a little bit and, you know, seek knowledge, but only go to the masjid once. Come right home after Fajr, etc., etc., etc. If that's the rationale of your parents, do not obey them and do not listen to them. And that is because nothing will remain from your deen. And every single act, they'll say that it's just a sunnah. And there could be an act which is mandatory according to all four schools of thought. Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali, everyone says it's mandatory, and they'll say it's just a what? Sunnah. So if that's your parents, and that's how they talk and think, then do not listen to them, and do not obey them even in that which is not obligatory. Listen carefully to my words. Listen carefully. Don't compromise the sunnah act for them. It's because you give them an inch, they will take a meter. They will take a yard, a foot, if you compromise your religion. Do I have to wear thobe? No. Thobe goes off. Do I have to cover my head? No. My head is uncovered. Do I have to go to the masjid? It's 15 minutes away, it's 10 minutes away, it's 20 minutes away. No, I don't have to. And then you turn around, a day, a week, a month, a year. What's left of your deen, Abdul Qawi? What's left? And then they're still not pleased. And now they want to encroach on the obligatory territory. And the next thing you know, you stop making your prayer in public. And the next thing you know, you start shaking this one's hand, and you start listening to this, and you start doing that and doing that just to please your what? Parents. So be careful. If your parents are righteous and pious, even if they're not that knowledgeable, they're good people, that's one thing. But if your parents are afraid of the kuffar and they wish to eat from the scraps of the kuffar's table, the food that they throw on the floor for the Muslims, don't listen to them. And try your best to explain to them, to convince them. Try your best to tell them that this makes me feel happy on me when I dress like this. I don't have to wear this, but I feel happy when I wear it. I feel more righteous when I cover my face. I feel closer to Allah when I cover my face. Everyone understand this? And don't always get into the argument of you do or you don't have to. And even though many ulama, if not most of them, say that a woman does not have to cover her face, that the niqab is not obligatory, it doesn't mean that all of the ulama say that. It doesn't mean that. Many ulama hold the view that a woman must cover everything. And they have a strong argument to say that. So the point is, brothers and sisters, it depends on who your parents are, and it depends on what the act is. Many Muslims today, they say things are sunnah, and when you read the traditional books of fiqh, it's obligatory. And most people cannot make taqleed properly. You read the Hanafi fiqh books, Abu Hanifa, Muhammad ibn Hassan, Abu Yusuf, Zufar, this one, that one, all of them said it's mandatory. 500, 700 years later, the Hanafis say it's just sunnah. But that's not what the Imam said. The people call themselves Shafi'is. You read Imam Shafi'i's speech, it's like night and day. Imam Malik said, don't do this. But you go to Algeria, or you go to Mali, or you go to other Maliki countries, and the Malikis are practicing something totally different than what Imam Malik was doing, or the early disciples of Imam Malik. So the average person, they can't properly make what? Taqleed. They don't know how to blind follow. Is it even permissible to blind follow? But if it is, they don't even know what? They can't even do it properly. Everyone understand this? They can't do it properly. And the Hanafi, Shafi'i madhab is mixed with a bunch of what? Pesticides, food dyes, coloring. It's not organic anymore. If it's even correct to follow Abu Hanifa in this view. Everyone understand the point I'm trying to get to? So some of the ulama of Islam, they say, this last thing I want to say about the answer, is that Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, he told his righteous, pious son Abdullah to divorce his wife. An authentic hadith. Divorce her. She's no good. Divorce her. Let her go. And we all know what happened, or what Ibn Umar did. So some of the ulama of Islam, they say that if you have a righteous father, a righteous, pious, knowledgeable father who tells you to divorce your wife, some of the ulama say that is what you should do. And some of them, they say, if your father is nothing like Umar, then what? You don't have to listen to him. Everyone understand the point I'm trying to get to? What's the chances of someone who's knowledgeable, righteous, pious, going to tell you to divorce someone without a clear, solid reason? What's the chances of that? And what are the chances of someone who's of the dunya? Someone who doesn't have a beard. Someone who barely makes 5 prayers. Someone who barely comes to the masjid. Someone who thinks that you shouldn't look like a Muslim. Someone telling you to divorce your wife for a clear, solid reason. Everyone understand the point? So oftentimes parents, they want all of their rights, but they're not willing to be righteous and pious themselves. And the same applies to leadership. The Prophet says, obey the leader, listen to the leader, follow the leader. And the Prophet also tells the leader to do what? Establish the deen, serve the people, protect the country, establish the religion. Is that not the sunnah as well? A husband, he quotes the hadith of the Prophet saying, obey your husband, listen to your husband. If your husband had a wound with pus coming out of it, if I told anyone to make sujood, it would be to the husband. And the Prophet also tells the husband to do what? Fear Allah concerning his wife, provide for his wife, take care of his wife, serve his wife. Aisha was asked in Sahih Bukhari, what did the Prophet do when he was with you? When he was in his household? He said he was what? Served his family. Kana fi mihnati ahli, kana fi khidmati ahli. He served his wife. They asked, what's that? Sewing a thobe, milking a goat. How many men do this? His wife asked him to wash a dish, to sweep a floor, to bring some food home, to take out the trash, to take out the recycling. And it's a what? World War III. A huge argument. And then this person says, the Prophet said, Sahih Bukhari, obey me, listen to me. Most of us live one-sided lives. وَلَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. And included in that are parents. When it comes to their rights and what they want to do and their warped understanding of Islam, it's nothing but Bukhari and Muslim. When it comes to them not eating from riba, praying, wearing hijab, doing what they're supposed to do, having an Islamic household, it is in Sahih Bukhari and it's not what? Sahih Muslim. That's very unfortunate. Wallahu a'lam.